Hey everybody, welcome back to TAZ's Wig Closet at Wig Studio One. Today I'm going to chat with you about recent events that I had in my family and how this beautiful hand-tied style saved the day. Coming up. Special events where you gather in large groups is very rare in these days, and so I don't have the opportunity to select a wig and an outfit to wear to those types of occasions very often. My youngest son graduated from the university this year, and it was going to be a large graduation because the last two classes that were graduated didn't get to participate in the ceremony, so they decided to go ahead and do it this year, and they were going to have it outdoors because there wasn't enough space for everybody indoors. But they graduated 3 classes. Those students that wanted to return and walk in their graduation in the prior semesters that didn't get a chance due to the pandemic, they got a chance to do that this time. So the big caveat there is it's rain or shine. The show must go on, right? They can't move everybody indoors due to some of the social distancing requirements and things. So rain or shine, this graduation was going forward. So the graduation was to take place on Saturday, May 8th, which was the day before Mother's Day. And gosh, here in Ohio, the general temperatures in that kind of that month is right around 65-ish. I want to say 65 to 68 degrees. So we were going to prepare for a nice spring outdoor graduation ceremony. In fact, I had everything picked out that I was going to wear. I was actually going to wear this wig here, which was Link, and I was going to wear this cute little off of the shoulder top. Link has some pink in it, and it was going to match the pink from my top and so forth. So in my mind, that's what I was going to wear. However, around Wednesday or Thursday of the week before the graduation, we realized that the weather wasn't going to be as friendly as it typically is that time of the year. In fact, it wasn't going to climb much above freezing. We were going to have temperatures 30 to 40 degrees below normal. And there was the threat of a shower or two, and we were going to have a lot of wind. So I quickly changed my mind about the wig style I was going to wear. I ended up with this. This is the Jon Renau Julianne in the color Palm Springs Blonde, and this is actually in the petite version, and I do have a video review out there on this style. The day of the ceremony was in the low to mid 30s, and we wore all of our winter clothing. Boots, heavy socks, scarves. We had heavy winter coats on. The wind was ridiculous. And I thought, gosh, I just feel so badly for these students that are out there in their gowns and these ladies that have, bare legs and sandals on. I just don't know how they did it. They're a lot younger than I am. That's all I can say, because it was almost intolerable. Because they graduated 3 classes, it was about 3 hours long, the entire ceremony. They placed chairs, like folding chairs, on the football field, and it stretched the whole length and width of the football field. That's how many students there were. And it was long and super cold. So this little wig saved the day. It was quickly after we moved into the stadium seats and we were waiting for the students to march out onto the field to get ready for the ceremony that it started in with a rain, sleet, snow mix. I had a hood on my winter coat, but it didn't quite cover everything up. And the fact that it was so windy, it was hard to keep my hood on. And we didn't think to bring umbrellas. It really wasn't supposed to have a lot of precipitation, just windy and cold. So nobody had an umbrella. So we just had our hoods. But my wig got wet. And when a wig gets wet, a couple of things happen. The fiber tends to, just like biological hair, the fibers tend to clump together and you can kind of see through to the scalp or to, you know, the base of the cap. So thank goodness for a hand-tied cap, because when Julianne got wet, you could see through a little bit, but it wasn't obvious that it was a wig. You would have to really get up close to know there were no wefts. If I would have had a wefted wig on, you could definitely have seen through to the tracks. And so in that way, I felt super grateful that I made this decision. In another way too, Julianne is super curly, and it's kind of that chaotic curl, that almost air dried look anyway. So when it got wet, it continued to look great. So if this was a straight style, I just probably would have looked like a drowned rat. But because there was a little bit of curl to it, it just continued to look cute. As a matter of fact, as soon as those students turned their tassels, we were out of there because it was so cold. We texted our son to meet us back at grandma's house so that we could do pictures there, because nobody was going to stand outside at the stadium and take pictures. And by the time my son got back there, which is another 45 minutes, Julianne had dried into the most beautiful curl pattern for pictures. If I would have had just a straight wig on, or, you know, in a wefted wig, I don't think I would have looked as good for the pictures as I did. So that's another blessing that I credit to having this hand-tied style. You know, and the other thing is wind. When you're in wind that's coming from all directions, it seemed like, you couldn't quite cover up completely. And so with a hand-tied cap, no matter what direction the wind is coming in, it was not obvious that I was wearing a wig. And also a lace front, very, very well done lace front, very realistic looking, and a monofilament top. I just feel totally set for my day. I could not have made a better choice for the conditions that we were in for his graduation. So I used to think that I probably would not want to wear a hand-tied style out in any kind of weather, wind, rain, you know, that kind of thing, because I wouldn't want to put excess wear and tear. The wind can really whip a wig, and I didn't want to put all that wear and tear on a very expensive hand-tied style. But if you have an occasion where you absolutely need to wear to look your best, and you don't want to be overly conspicuous that you're wearing a wig style, and you're not quite sure about the weather, I suggest a hand-tied style. Julianne, again, is perfect. The length is perfect. It's curly versus straight. It's hand-tied, no wefts. It has a beautiful lace front, and, you know, it got wet, it looked even better. So I learned an important lesson that day. I learned not to save my hand-tied wigs for perfect occasions, that they shine the best in imperfect conditions. So I certainly can't recreate the horrible conditions that we were in that stadium that day, but I do have a water bottle, so I can kind of give you an idea of kind of what I looked like while sitting there. So we have lots and lots of wetness. I had a lot of wetness right here at the front especially. And like I said, it just continued to look better and better. So even when it is considered to look limp when it's wet, it still looks fabulous. And also, even if it's a little bit saturated and you can see to the base, it honestly just looks like scalp. No wefts. So even if, you know, this summer, if you're going to the beach, and I know it's hard to wear an expensive style to the beach with the salt air and things, but if you absolutely have to look your absolute best, Julianne would be an amazing little style to take. So we all share and learn from one another. And so this is just a case where I have sort of changed my mind on when and where to wear hand-tied wig styles. I hope you all have a wonderful spring, a wonderful day. Enjoy. We'll see you next time on Taz's Wig Closet at Wig Studio 1.